Ghost, presented by GhostBed.com.
What is up? We are live on a Sunday because we didn't record any extra shows this week, and we're here to just fuck around and have some fun. I'm your host, Rob Fox, joined as always by Dan Holloway. We got the boys on the desk. How's it going?
Are you talking to me or them?
You.
I mean, you last referenced, quote unquote, the boys on the desk, which is like the boys in the hood, except for it's white dudes that are high.
The boys at the desk are always hard.
That is actually true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense. If Easy was here, I think he would bless off on that one. And he might also give you AIDS. So, let's see. Ross is definitely dead. No, Ross is doing physical therapy for his lungs because he's a bitch. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When I had triple pneumonia, because I've got a third lung as well.
It's pretty tight.
Yeah, it's not bad. My O2 levels are crazy. I'm high pretty much all the time because of it, actually. Yeah, when my lungs got fucked up, I actually had a really bad case of bronchitis that turned into pneumonia sometime in late 2008 or early 9. I don't remember when it was. But it fucking sucked.
Were you still in the military?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, so I just kind of hung out a little bit, and they gave you this fucking plastic tube thing with a ball in it, and you have to blow it, and it measures the air pressure you have in your lungs,
right,
or your ability to breathe out. And I couldn't go back to duty until I hit a certain thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
So you were playing a carnival game to see how healthy your lungs were? Like you were strongmanning with your lungs?
Yeah, pretty much. And the difference between, I guess, my situation and Ross is that I wasn't using it all as a cover to get gender reassignment surgery, which I'm pretty sure is what is happening there. If he comes out with tits, I'm going to be really mad.
I actually heard he was becoming, like, he was insecure about his manhood and is getting a penis sewn onto his penis.
A second penis?
Yeah. He wants to be.
Is there like a noticeable seam, or how does that work?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It's almost like your penis has a rhinoceros horn on it.
It's like a Prince Albert.
Oh, I see. So it's hooked through the end of your penis.
Yeah.
Wow, that seems really uncomfortable and unnecessary, and also not very useful.
No, but he wanted to leave no doubt.
I got it. Yeah. I mean, so last night I allowed these people into my home. Dan Regester, that piece of trash included. Mm-hmm. Although he kept it under control mostly. You know what I mean? Like he did drink tap water, which I think is a problem.
Instead of, what, you got a Brita, or you just get it from
I've
the fridge?
got every fucking thing except tap water. Like you could start at bottled Smart Water, and then Brita, and then Topo Chico, and then everything else. And no, he picks up a fucking dirty dish out of the sink, right, and pours fucking water out of the sink and then starts drinking.
It's in honor of his dad.
Yeah.
His dad's a water man.
He's a water treatment operator for
Yeah.
40 years. So
you get, what are you fucking repping? You're out there like doing testimonials. Oh, it's good tap water.
I got a ride for big water.
Wait, didn't Barack Obama already do that?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Get high, because I can tell you're not high. No, I don't know. That was the point. The point of that was we had a brief debate, but one that I think should be made public, about center boob. So instead of getting a boob job and getting binary titties, mm-hmm, right? Just one big one in the middle.
Okay.
Kind of looks like that yoga thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah.
You lie on and do whatever. Not the ball, but the fucking, yeah.
It's the
the foam roller?
No, the little. It's like a half ball.
Yeah, it's like a half a ball with a plastic base.
Yeah,
No,
use it for like physical therapy and shit. So it's the singularity.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it's a monotit.
Yeah.
Uniboob.
Now, what's the use of one instead of two? What's the advantage?
Well, I mean, how frequently do you get to take advantage of both titties at the same time anyways? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If I could reduce my testicles down to one, I would do that. One big testicle, for sure.
Oh, instead of just like getting one lumped off?
Yeah, I mean, I would never get one lumped off, but I would prefer to have one than two. You know what I mean? I just think two is a problem. Because especially as you get older, you notice that one side starts to dip lower than the other side.
Oh, yeah. Not even older. That happened to me in like my 20s, early 20s.
Well, yeah, but you're an old white man. You were an old white man when you were like 16. So, dihydrogen monoxide is killing our kids. Kids do drown sometimes. But yeah, I think that just the one ball,
right,
is probably, at least your sack is going to fucking, or maybe at some point.
But you have no backup plan. Like if you get in an accident. Like
yeah.
One titty, I guess, doesn't really matter. But like one nut, one thing goes wrong. You don't wear your cup in the infield one day or some shit.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, that's kind of like natural selection, isn't it? You forget your cup, you don't have kids.
Yeah.
You shouldn't get a second chance for that, I don't think. I think the selection, and that's our problem as a species. We've gotten in the way of nature too frequently, right? Like some dum-dum is about to put a fork in an electrical socket, and people are like, oh, you got to stop him. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You don't. You let it happen. And the other kids learn not to do that.
We don't believe in evolution. We just acknowledge it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's true. Yeah.
At least we don't believe in allowing it to function as it does.
Yeah, I mean, you could say though that human sociology, is a part of the greater system, but it is a part of it in the same way that, I guess, suicide is a part of life. Like the evolution, random mutation, and natural selection is the ultimate example of a meritocracy, and obviously, even in a meritocracy, there's going to be some fucking bad luck, I guess, on either side, if it's a fight or just in general for everybody. But for the most part, things tend to work out as they should.
Right.
For the most part.
Once you, over a large enough sample size.
Right. Yeah, we think of life in terms of maybe 80 years or maybe twice that if we're thinking about our kids or grandkids or whatever the fuck.
Right.
But that's not reality, right? Reality is that the Earth was 4 billion years old before we even got here.
I don't know, man. Kind of feel like we invented it. God made it for us. And God, I assume, was just a regular Mormon guy on another planet.
Yeah.
And then he made, I think a lot of people think we're in a simulation. I think we're on like a 5th tier Mormon God.
Probably, yeah. We're not, I mean, I think that if Corky from Life Goes On were Mormon, that's where we are, yeah. Or it's either him or like fucking, I don't know, Richard Grieco or somebody like that.
Wait, Rob, so this is basically like that episode of Futurama where the Da Vinci was just an alien, but he was like the dumbest of the super smart aliens. So you're saying our God was like a C-tier God?
Well, it's just a 6th generation God, right? So there is a God somewhere. He's what the Mormons imagine, and he made the planet, and then all those billions of people had their own planet, or however many Mormons had their own planet when they died, so on and so forth. And we're just like, we're way down the line, right? Like, we're not the first Mormon planet.
So we're just a planet of a group of planets of a group of Mormon people all the way down this line, just kind of chilling.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Look, the point is that everything is pointless. Your entire life is a blip. Like, you would have to, even in the history of the Earth, you would have to put your entire life in super slow-mo just to notice it. You know what I mean? So shut the fuck up, everybody. And let's all just do drugs and burn down our own houses because it's all pointless, right?
That's very popular in your neighborhood.
It is, yeah. Well, I don't know about the drugs part, but I assume that guy was on drugs. Like usually, when it wasn't even cops, it was like a constable that showed up to enforce an HOA violation or something.
Well, it was just the HOA at first.
Yeah, well, yeah, at first, but then the constable shows up to like, hey, here's a fine for not doing your shit.
Right.
And he's like, fuck you, pop, 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 and burns his own house down.
Yeah.
Now it seems like an extreme example. I still haven't heard if they found anything in his home. I mean, I didn't see any like secondary explosions, so it wasn't a meth lab.
No, I didn't hear anything secondary about it. Do you think he was just like too antsy to be like hyper libertarian, like those ranch guys? He was just like, this is my chance, but like skipped like 9 steps that he probably should have gone through before it was time to do that.
It doesn't seem like he put a lot of thought into the whole thing.
No.
I mean, it's not hard to burn down your own house, I don't think.
He did like a full job on it though. Like it was rubble. It wasn't like burnt out. Like
but I think it was like it's still an active crime scene, so the fire department can't go in and stop it. It's just got to burn because he's still in there shooting his gun off like Yosemite Sam and shit. I don't know. We didn't discover anything new about that. Also, there was another shooting. I think it was like an attempted murder, suicide, or something in my neighborhood. I'd love to take credit
for that.
It seems like
but I don't think anything you would do on that vein would have the attempted prefix to it.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. No, actually, just from reading the police reports, it seemed like what happened in that other one was a dude was trying to shoot himself, and then somebody tried to stop him and got some minor injuries from that. But he did indeed.
He
kill
pulled
himself.
it off.
Yeah. So you just gotta stutter step. Boom. You gotta fucking look. You gotta play defense even when you're playing offense.
Yeah.
So.
Protect the ball, defend the plate.
It's not a shady neighborhood. It's a fucking really nice neighborhood.
Yeah, it's one of the nicer neighborhoods in the city.
Yeah, so it's a really nice neighborhood. It's just like people are fucking tired of being trapped indoors for the last 2 years, and none of it making any sense, I think, and they're just starting to snap.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a coincidence. Who knows?
People are just getting antsier in general. How was the rest of your party?
Oh, it was good, yeah.
Did Giorgio get attacked again?
No, we put the dogs upstairs. Although I think that would have just been too much stimulation for the dog.
Yeah.
Like, he usually doesn't snap at people and shit like that. It's just he likes to play. And Brittany overreacts when he does because she's worried he's going to bite somebody's entire leg off, which he's certainly capable of doing.
Yeah. How it's like 100 pounds, right?
He was 90-something, 93 or 6 until we switched him over to Mike Ritland's food. Because it's got a lot more fat in it. Because we've always had trouble keeping weight on him. But he's beefed up a little bit. I think he might be over 100 now.
Yeah, you definitely don't want an accidentally gaunt dog. And then you, like, take him out walking, and people are like, what the fuck are you doing to that dog?
Yeah. No, he's a runt. He's always been kind of a runt. But now he's got a dump truck on him now. Like, his butt looks really nice. But, yeah, we don't want him to fucking freak out on anybody. But I don't care. I don't think he would.
Yeah.
Like Nick and Sarah, famous Sarah Heller, came over one time. Actually, the same night that Giorgio got murdered, and he just ran over to Nick and buried his face in his crotch and licking him and play with me.
Yeah.
In the situation, and then it seems like Giorgio came in later, and he looks like, I don't know can you switch the camera around and see what Giorgio looks like? He looks like a younger version of Joe Pesci in Home Alone, kind of, when he was still doing drugs and shit. And obviously, the dog watches Home Alone a lot.
Yeah.
Not the new one, fuck that, but there's a new one, by the way.
I know. It looks awful.
I feel like they should do a Home Alone where Macaulay Culkin is traumatized as an adult, and now he's breaking into homes.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like a...
But he learned his lesson, and he's just smoking kids. Pow, pow.
There's a great Family Guy clip on that. Home Alone with competent robbers.
Yeah, he just like sidesteps the paint can and shoots a kid in the face or something. Yeah, that's something.
No, I want them to bridge the Home Alone and Saw universes, and Macaulay Culkin eventually becomes Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. No, Giorgio was not a tiny man. He's like, what are you, like 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", something like that? Probably.
5'10", 5'11", yeah.
Yeah, Ross likes to say he's 5'5".
Yeah, Ross likes to say he's 6'4", too, which is also not true. Maybe with his poofed up hair. I actually don't know how tall he is. I don't know if anybody I don't know how tall I am. Because when I was in the Army, I was 6'1.5" inches, and they actually measure you.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm shorter than that.
No, you're 6 for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like just the impact from jumps and jumping out of shit with my giant rucksack.
Cost you an inch. Just like the gravity of having all that extra shit on you.
Yeah. And I've got bad posture, too. Like, I'm just so disinterested in life that I'm like... I'm always kind of just like a tired boxer.
Yeah.
That's just leaning in and trying to use everybody else to hold me up. Yeah, it's been it was a good night. We had fun. Drank some booze, and I got a honey baked ham. I had Nick go pick me up a brisket earlier in the week from this butcher that I go to a lot, and ended up it was a 7-pound brisket, but I cut like 3.5 pounds of fat off it. It was like really fatty, so I was like, this isn't going to be enough to feed all these dicks. So I got a honey baked ham and a Terry Black's brisket. So nobody can fucking complain, no matter, even if you get attacked at that point.
Right.
You just got to kind of take it, I think.
People don't ever do a full accounting of pros and cons when something bad happens to them. It's like only the bad thing matters.
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah, like if it depends on, the force of the bite, where the bite is, the brisket and stuff still outweighs it completely.
Oh yeah, Terry Black's brisket. I would probably I would say it would be evened out if the dude just got halfway inside me. But I got Terry Black's barbecue. That to me is a wash.
Yeah.
Anything more than that would be problematic. But
I would take that dog bite again for Terry Black's.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like a small nip on the back of your fucking bicep or tricep. I'll take that all day for Terry Black's.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I would put Terry Black's on it to cure it because I'm pretty sure that works. Do we have a doctor?
And then he
in
bites
here?
you again, and then you get more Terry Black's. It's like a reward system.
No, but he'll lick you too, and their saliva has enzymes in it to help you heal faster. So,
right, and disinfects it.
yeah, in prison camps in Vietnam and in Korea, the American prisoners would let dogs lick their wounds, right? Because they knew that it would sterilize them and blah blah blah, and the Koreans were just hungry.
Do we just give a lot of dogs some sort of STDs from that?
Probably, yeah. Especially, you can imagine what kind of STDs those dudes are carrying around, because the first thing they do when they get into theater is go to a mama-san and fuck the same woman that everyone else had already fucked.
Right.
So you got to think there's some interesting STDs that came out.
And then you still don't want to use a condom.
Can you imagine if Vietnam had come after AIDS? Like if we had fought in Vietnam in like 1986?
It would have been like the bubonic plague sweeping over Europe and at any time it did.
Would we be better at taking out the enemy via having sex with them than any?
No,
because
AIDS takes too long, and in communist countries, I suppose in all autocratic countries, but especially in communist countries, the patrician class and then the warrior class get taken care of first. So they probably would have just cured AIDS earlier. So maybe that would have been good. I don't know.
We should have
reinvaded Vietnam. Yes.
Yeah. I'm still not against it, all things considered.
No, but it's we've got so many other battles to fight right now. It's just it's hard to get it on the books.
There's a lot. There's a lot going on. Keep reading that. Everyone's lined up on the border of Ukraine now. It's a lot of fun news.
Well, it's dangerous here in America, too. I don't know if you heard about this, but a car on the loose has been killing people in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
A car. Not a human being driving it.
Yeah.
Not a guy that happens to be black, that happens to have espoused quite a bit of anti-white and pro-BLM rhetoric and said that we should physically assault white people and blah, blah, blah. Not that guy. It was the car, obviously.
Well, that's the plot to Knight Rider, right?
Is it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Was Tom Selleck a black dude?
He's a car.
That was David Hasselhoff.
Oh, David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Why did I say
Tom Selleck, Magnum PI.
Fucking Magnum PI, which is the shorts are much shorter in Magnum PI.
Yes.
This is also another episode of Futurama in which a car becomes a werewolf.
Oh, yeah.
The werecar.
Werecar, yeah.
By itself.
Yep. It was...
Great episode.
Shit. Who all was it? It was like all the great actors through history, or all the... Calculon was all the great robot actors through history.
Yeah, he was immortal from being...
Yeah. This is the CNN headline. Waukesha will hold a moment of silence today, marking 1 week since a car drove through a city Christmas parade, killing 6 people and injuring scores of others. A car drove through. That sounds very much like some people did some things.
Goddamn
right?
Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah. It certainly wasn't an autonomous vehicle. It was like a 2003 fucking SUV of some sort.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not great that the news media is hiding this. And it's also not great that the judge in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, some cunt, has now announced that cameras aren't going to be allowed in the courtroom.
Interesting.
It's a lot more than interesting. We'll see where this goes. Yeah, it does seem extremely weird.
With the dude that drove in Wisconsin or whatever, how much do you attribute it to his politics and how much do you attribute it? And it could be like, so certainly the news, if it was like a white guy who was like obviously crazy, but posted white supremacist shit or even just like pro-Trump shit, which is like, they'd be all over that. If he drove through a parade of like immigrants or whatever the fuck.
What do you mean, like in Charlottesville?
Yeah.
Like one guy in Charlottesville became an effigy for the entire MAGA movement.
Right.
Overnight. Not even overnight, within hours of that happening.
To be fair, though, that guy didn't seem crazy. This dude...
He drove a car through a bunch of people. That's crazy.
That's crazy at the moment. This dude seemed crazy for, like, a long time. I'm saying if it's equally...
What did he do that was crazy? He was just a criminal shitbag.
He was, like, abusive, and, like, he was also posting, like, pro-Hitler memes and stuff like he was...
I don't know
all
that did he actually post a pro-Hitler meme, or did he say tongue-in-cheek that maybe Hitler got it right because he was claiming that black Israelite nonsense?
I think it was...
Because that's not the same thing. Like, even Hitler got it right.
Yeah.
Even Hitler, a guy that's racist, knew who the real Jews were, which is us. That's the meme that I saw him post.
Okay.
Everybody's trying to say this dude is like, oh, he's fucking pro-Hitler. No, it's easy to believe if the guy's crazy. Right? It's not easy to believe if he is a piece of shit scumbag that's been victimizing people for years and nobody's done shit about it, including 2 weeks ago when somebody let him out after his gajillionth violent offense on $1,000 bail.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the real story.
Yeah. No, the bail thing is insane.
Yeah. It's fucked up. It's about as fucked up as anything I've seen in a long time. But, you know, we see these little events pop up from time to time. During the Obama catch and release program, one of those guys in San Francisco just walked up to some lady in the street and popped her in the fucking head, right?
Yeah.
Shot her in the face. It's been going on for a long time. And it's good to be, I guess it's good to withhold judgment, I guess, for some amount of time, because that happening one time doesn't mean, like, everybody is getting on this prosecutor for saying, well, of course, we're going to release somebody and something bad's going to happen. That's just, he's just talking about probabilistic statistics at that point.
Right. Because you're typically releasing someone with a higher probability of doing something.
Right. And all these crime and punishment people are here like, we can't allow one thing to happen. And that kind of attitude is what led us to the fucking Patriot Act. Right? And it's certainly completely counter to what Ben Franklin said, which is I'd rather see 10 or 9 guilty men go free than have one innocent man stuck in prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that is the nature of liberty. Like, we take certain chances. It's the same argument that the fucking gun crowd makes, which is that, yeah, guns are dangerous in the hands of the wrong people. And there's a couple things. One, that doesn't mean we should just not have them. That's an acceptable level of risk. And two, who adjudicates who is and isn't dangerous with that weapon, right? Both of those things are problems. So liberty to do what one will. And think about the things that people are getting arrested for these days. The fucking Round Rock Independent School District just sent police officers that apparently they have their own police agency to the homes of 2 parents that were pissed off at meetings for various reasons to arrest them for disorderly conduct. So school districts have police departments that can come arrest you now if you show up and pissed off. No, there has to be a third-party arbiter. You can't when police are protecting, or when a police force is inside of another department of some sort, and its only focus is to protect that department, it can go outside of its jurisdiction and start arresting people. That's a big fucking problem. It's really stupid too. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, that's fucking hilarious, though. What were they? Was it like a CRT thing or just a random thing?
One was CRT, and I don't remember what the other one was.
Because, I mean, people. It's funny, like, you know, people show crazy, like, quote-unquote, crazy parents at, like, CRT, like, for a thing about CRT, but, like, there's always crazy parents at PTA meetings.
Yeah, for sure, and there have been for fucking years. As a matter of fact,
That's not a new development that people would get upset at.
No. One of the first scenes in Field of Dreams is them getting thrown out of a fucking parent-teacher meeting. Not a parent-teacher meeting, but a fucking school board meeting, basically, saying you can't ban books. And now it's those same people that would have been saying you can't ban books, saying you have to teach this lunacy and also get your kids fucking vaccinated.
And ban books. It's really just,
they're just banning different books.
It's a fun do-si-do that we do with society.
Yeah, but this is in Round Rock, so if you guys want to look that up and look up who the school board members are and then who the chief of that police department is and light them
So
is
this the Round Rock Police Department and they have a subdivision in the schools?
I don't know.
So the way...
No. So you see like Austin ISD driving around?
Yeah.
They work for the school district.
Okay. So the only experience I have with this is in college, because a bunch of college campuses have their own police departments, right? And the public ones are off. Sometimes they're private security forces. Sometimes they're a part of the public police force.
Right.
Because like at Mizzou... The Mizzou police were a division of the Missouri Highway Patrol, I believe.
That's entirely possible, in which case the Round Rock mayor and chief of police should be fucking launched completely out of Texas for allowing that to happen. Like, on a catapult, gone.
For disorderly. What'd they do? They like knock over a chair? Are they just yelling?
I haven't seen any video of it, but you can look it up. So it's Round Rock ISD police chief. So the ISD has their own police chief. His name is Jeffrey Yarborough. Yarborough.
Yarborough?
Yeah. When you consider the issue that we recently had one of our elementary schools and now at one of our elementary schools, what is he talking about? What happened?
I don't fucking know. I didn't hear any news about a Round Rock Elementary School.
And now a situation that occurred around one of our high schools. We look at both of those situations. Oh, I'm saying he's talking about these two incidents. So, a student was walking to Westwood High School when a man approached and stole her wallet. Last week, police reported a student was sexually assaulted while walking to Live Oak Elementary School. Right?
Cool.
So I don't know what that has to do with parents who show up. Right?
Right.
And say, hey, stop teaching my kid that they're evil because they're white. And then they're like, hey, you can't talk to us like that. Get out of here. And they throw you out of their building, which is their right to do. And then they come to your home and arrest you for disorderly conduct because you came to tell them how you think their own children should be educated.
Yeah.
Now we have a fucking state versus the people kind of situation. And that state has to go away.
What do you do when two school resource officers show up to your house? I just close the door?
Boy.
No.
Yeah, I mean, if they showed up at my door, I would tell them to leave. I wouldn't open the door in the first place.
Right.
Like, show me your warrant. All right, cool. You can call my attorney.
Right.
And if they tried to force their way into my home, then they're going to lit the fuck up.
Because there's no way they had a warrant.
I don't know how. Like you would, technically speaking, I don't know how they're set up exactly. So, if it is a department within.
Yeah.
Round Rock PD, or if that, I don't even know if that exists, then maybe they have jurisdiction, but I would first call the chief of police of the actual police department, right? Or call their non-emergency line and be like, hey, there's two assholes here, and they need to leave.
Right. I can't wait for PTA meetings. I'm so fucking hyped.
Yeah, just wear a shirt that says cunt across the front of it. No context. And people are like, whoa, what is that? I'm like, I just like it, man.
Yeah.
No, it's
a cool word.
Central University of North Texas. Whatever. Let's see. What else is going on here? I'm trying to find this story.
Of what?
Of the fucking, let's see.
The incident while the elementary student was walking to school. I'm trying to find that as well.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure that was just a psycho, like, fucking wandering around looking for kids. Because that happened in a grocery store here the other day, too. Just like some family was there and their little girl wandered off and some fucking, like, piece of shit lunatic, like, walked up to her and, like, smelled her hair and then tried to kidnap her. And the brother saw, like, they got him or whatever. Like, they got him. But, yeah, it sounds like some random psycho being like, oh, kids walk around here.
I mean, just those people should be killed. Why
Yes.
can't we just kill pedophiles? Who's in the way of this? That clear pedophile at Old Dominion University? Is that the one, or is it just like more of
Which one? Oh, the one that's like, no, they're not pedophiles.
Yeah. They're minor attracted persons.
Right.
If you have to come up with a new word to describe what something is, then that thing probably sucks.
I just hate it because I'm always like, I love maps. I'm into maps.
It's funny. Brian Coulter is one of the guys. Coulter.
Who?
Oh no, that's not him. That's some fucking lunatic. Hold on, I'm trying to find the name of these two dudes. Twisted Measures.
Who got arrested?
Yeah.
Oh, I was honestly picturing moms.
One of them is a minister named Jeremy Story, so a preacher of some sort. And the other one is a retired Army captain, Dustin Clark. So they allegedly spoke out against corruption, or spoke out against alleged corruption and school officials' hostility towards parents, which has been a big deal here in Central Texas recently. There have been quite a few arguments here and in Fort Worth about critical race theory.
It's essentially a back and forth between like how much each side should have a say over what their kids are being taught.
Yeah, there was a vote about that in Virginia, and the guy got schwacked.
Sort of symbolic vote.
Yeah, so basically, here's part of the story. Journalist Pedro Gonzalez reported that in August meeting, Story, who's the minister, had calmly, quote, produced evidence that the board had covered up an alleged assault by the superintendent, Hafed Aziz. It's Hafedh space Azaiez. That was the superintendent of schools there.
So he was pointing out that a school administrator sexually assaulted a student?
No, sexually assaulted, not sexually, a mistress. So the dude's married.
Oh, okay.
And had a mistress and beat her ass.
Okay.
And then the school board covered it up, and this guy produced evidence to that effect, apparently, which is pretty funny. The superintendent and school board president cut him off mid-sentence. So the superintendent, I guess, that was present right there, cut him off mid-sentence and had ordered officers to remove him from the premises.
Well, that's handy.
That is illegal. This is public property. You don't, like, the superintendent of the school should not have the right to kick somebody off, nor should the school board president. That's fucking crazy.
Unless they're going, like, fully bananas. Like, unless they're, like, literally, like, violently, doing something violent, basically.
I've been to these school board meetings when we were in Wilmington, because we were lighting those guys up on a pretty regular basis. If you sign up ahead of time as scheduled and they allow people to speak, you get a certain amount of time to speak. If you're not being abusive or physically violent, they are required to let you continue.
Right.
At any rate. So at the next meeting in September, this is the very next school board meeting, with the district's controversial mask mandate on the agenda, the school board locked the majority of parents out of the room, preventing them from speaking. We had this happen in Wilmington as well. They put the list that you had to sign up for in some fucking unknown location, and then had 10 people sign up, and then put the list out there and said no more. Like, they just put like, oh, list is closed, sorry for today. They did that a couple times, actually. They were covering up rampant pedophilia, by the way, and all those people are getting sued now.
Well, it's really inconvenient to deal with that, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Sometimes you just got to cover it up.
No, I mean, you can just cover them up with dirt, bury them alive, and that helps too. So, anyways, Clark, who is the Army captain, and other frustrated parents asked the board to open the nearly empty room to the public. Instead, school board president Amy Weir, remember that name too, directed officers to remove Clark from school property. As he was being dragged out by two officers, he shouted to the audience, "It's an open meeting, shame on you, communists, let the public in." I don't know how communism played into it, although there are certainly, the critical race theory is 100% rooted in Marxist ideology. There's no question about that. Anybody that's looked into it can tell you that. A few days later, the school district, in coordination with law enforcement, sent police officers to the homes of both men, arrested them, and put them in jail on charges of, quote, disorderly conduct with intent to disrupt a meeting. A public school board meeting where their children go to school.
I mean, a meeting is a sacred thing.
Mm-hmm.
in the eyes of the law and God. So
I
guess I don't want to say I'm pro these guys being in jail, but how dare you, sirs?
I'm trying to find. Here, well, you can go down. I don't. Maybe I'll send Nick to do this whenever we find out which department it was. But we can go request who the arresting officers were.
Yeah.
And I can ask them and their fucking shift supervisor and then their chief why they thought it was okay to send people to arrest parents who are being shut out of public meetings where their children are being fucking abused. I'd just like to hear what they have to say about that. And if it so happens that it's an appointed situation, then the mayor of the city of Round Rock is going to get a lot of my attention because that's not a great thing. So families and supporters of Story and Clark held an all-night protest outside the jail until the men were finally released in the morning. Now they're raising money to fund their legal defense, but I don't think it'll come to that. The school board was able to do this because the Round Rock Independent School District has its own police force with a 3-layer chain of command, patrol unit, school resource officers, and a detective and K-9 unit. Why the fuck does a school district have its own police force? Why would a college have its own police force? Have you seen the kind of dudes that are on fucking college police forces?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you have, and I know Delco, and you've been arrested by a couple of them.
Yes.
So it's not the best.
Not the A-team.
Yeah. The department serves under the board.
And by the way, a K-9 unit for a school district is literally just to find weed in kids' lockers.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people are wearing fucking suicide vests to school.
No.
Because that's literally never happened, not one time. Anyways, the department serves under the authority of the board and through coordination with other agencies apparently has the power to order the arrest of citizens in their homes. This sends a very clear message. If you speak out, if you try to come to our meeting and disrupt our little fucking aristocracy meeting, even at this lower level, fucking pathetic level of fiefdom, right? If you come in and try to upset our meeting, we'll send people to your home to arrest you. And that is a big fucking problem. If there's anything, where the fuck is BLM when you actually need some shit done? You know what I mean? This is completely unacceptable. And let me go on to...
Where's even the state reps or legislators on that? Williamson County, I guarantee you, has got some... It's purple, but it's mostly red, I think. Mm. You would think there'd be some... And if it's a state rep, he's probably a Republican. Like, you would think there would be someone there hearing about this and doing something.
Yeah, I mean, certainly there will be. The problem is whenever there's a circumstance like this, every fucking retard with an axe to grind comes out of the woodworks like, oh, we'll fucking help and represent you.
Right.
Like, I'm good, bro.
Yeah, please don't help me. I don't want your help.
Stop burning the crosses in my yard and shit. We're all set. It's a bunch of knuckleheads, typically.
It's a whole South Park episode about that.
Yeah, so it's Jeffrey, Jeffrey, D, middle name D, which stands for dumbass probably, and then Yarborough is his last name. He's the chief of the Round Rock School Police. What a title. I'm proud to lead a dedicated team of sworn police officers, crossing guards, and professionals in behavioral health and risk management. That is the talk, the behavioral professionals in behavioral health and risk management is the defund the police talk, by the way. So he's kind of half quoting them. So I'm cool. I'm one of the good ones, guys. Yeah. It's all right. This guy's a cunt, and his phone number is 512-464-5000. That is his office number. We're not giving you his cell phone number. No, I mean I wouldn't do that. And it's police@roundrockisd.org. If you want to send them some emails and ask them what the fuck they think they're doing. So we're gonna definitely start fucking with these guys really hard because this is completely unacceptable. And that is hilarious. Just like, sir, school police, open up. Yeah, like you can't say you can't say Round Rock Police. No, right? No. That's a real thing that exists. So if you say Round Rock Independent School District Police, I'm right. Like, well, do you think I'm not in high school, bro? Get the fuck off of my property. Do you think it gets even more specific? Like Forest Hills Middle School Police, open up. Yeah. There's a fucking hall monitor there to cuff you. Yeah. I mean, this one's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. the fact that they think that any of this is okay.
You know what it kind of sounds like, to give some like reference point. You know, in Parks and Rec, how they would always do those meetings, like town halls, and the citizens were like fucking crazy.
Yeah,
it kind of sounds like the inverse of that, like reversed. Like the citizens are there being like, "Please don't do this," and the administrators are crazy. And then when they yell at them too much, they just get toted out by cops. Although I do think shouting "communist" is pretty hilarious.
Well, yeah, I mean, if a organization is intent on teaching critical race theory, hiding the fact that they're doing it, and then sending police to people's homes when they speak out against it, maybe he had a point. You know what I mean? We'll find the guy and have him on the show, since he's an Army captain, and he can say whatever the fuck he wants here. And if anybody shows up here trying to stop him, may God have mercy on their fucking bullet-riddled soul. Let's see. Allison Nathan, the judge, she's currently assigned to the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. I just want to read you some of her fucking highlights.
This is the Ghislaine Maxwell judge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that sure is. Previously served as the Associate White House Counsel for President Barack Obama. That's weird, man. She's currently a nominee to be a United States Circuit Judge of the United States Court of Appeals of the Second Circuit. So she would be one step below the Supreme Court, basically, at that point. The nomination came from, what's his name? Joe Biden. Shit. That's not great. And that happens, right? Judges get nominated by presidents, so that part isn't all that weird. It is weird, though, that she thinks that she has the fucking authority here, the moral authority. Maybe she has the jurisdictional authority to do it, but the fact that she thinks she has the moral authority to shut the world out from this particular case where the leaders of the world have been hanging out with this dude who systematically kidnapped and raped underage women for decades, right? And you think that the trial might be too salacious for the public. No, the trial is the truth, you fucking cunt. And, to be honest, I don't know where this is going to go.
What are their what would the actual? Is it really just the only reason would be like she doesn't want something that's testified like or whatever or testified by Maxwell or implied by the prosecution that is maybe not true to get out? Like what's the pragmatic reason for this, if there is any?
The pragmatic reason is that she's up for a new job, and if she fucks up, then she's not going to get it. Okay. But, I mean, to answer your question a little more generously, and I am a generous man.
That's true.
I'm a generous God.
Xerxes.
There you go. You're still not high enough. I can still tell your face is fucked up. Like do you have weed over there?
No.
What's the fucking problem?
Nothing. I lost my battery, and then I've been smoking flower out of the bong at home a little bit more. And I didn't roll any pre-rolls for today because I was just...
You need to get your act together.
I know. I'm without my kit.
Yeah, this is the last time we're doing this. Anyways, yeah, I guess you could say, to your point, maybe it's that Ghislaine Maxwell or some other witness can just say whatever, and the news story, not even the next day, but that day would be fucking breaking testimony from blah, 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 and people will see that and think that it's real.
Right.
But it is the prosecution's job to stop bad information from getting out, right?
Well, right. I always used to say...
Like there's a lot of bad information that came out in the early part of the Rittenhouse trial that was clearly disproven by the defense.
Right.
And in this case, if the executive branch, if the judicial branch is worried about certain incorrect or out of context facts getting out, it is on them to tell the prosecutor, right, the U.S. attorney, like, hey, show me the fucking evidence that you're going to present. Everybody's got all the evidence that's going to be presented. That's how discovery works.
Right.
We're like, all right, do you have corroboration for this? What is this person going to say, et cetera? And as the judge, then you could look at it and be like, if you don't have corroboration for that, then that's going to be a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, there's plenty of ways to go about doing that, but keeping the fucking...
It's just babying us.
Keeping the public completely out of this is one of the most important trials that has ever happened in this country, to be honest, because a lot of people have felt for a good 150 years now that a couple of families, a couple of dozen families kind of run everything or have their fingers in everything, and they dictate economic policy and our health policy and our foreign policy, all this stuff. They put themselves in these seats of power like Nancy Pelosi for fucking decades at a time and make hundreds of millions of dollars doing it, right? While asking us to do things that they are not willing to do. And it appears as though a great deal of them not only witnessed, but took part in the systematic rape of fucking children. This is the playbook. It's the same playbook that Scientology uses. You go in and do your audits. Mm-hmm. They know all your dirty secrets, and then they blackmail you into fucking doing what you're told. And that's what has happened. That's what happened with Jeffrey Epstein. He collected all this information. Why the fuck would there be cameras like that on a secret island somewhere? That fucking right. I mean, we know for a fact they were raping kids there. Why would there be cameras other than to do that? Like
just in case somebody steals the silverware.
Yeah, right. They had Ring cameras.
You don't want to, porch pirates on your rape island.
This is the same playbook that's been used in aristocratic cultures throughout time. Getting secrets on people and blackmailing to get what you want. The real question,
the whole character arc of, not character arc, but the whole main character trait of Littlefinger.
More or less, yeah.
He runs the...
Yeah, and it's a trope, right? But it's a trope because it's real, and it's happened throughout every major fucking culture. And the real question that we need to be answering right now, well, there's two questions. One, who are all the people that raped and knew about the rape of kids? Mm-hmm. And all those people need to fucking die.
And who was just there for the pig roast?
Yeah, but all those people need to fucking die. And then two, who was Epstein collecting the secrets for, and who was leveraging him against those people?
Because the first time he get arrested, there was some agency that was like, no, he's an informant or something.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, if it's some situation where, and that is true, that you can look that up right now. So if it's a situation where either a government agency or people within a government agency was leveraging secret information against people to dictate American policy, then those people also need to die. All these people need to be fucking publicly executed. And that can't happen if we don't know who they are. So, frankly, I'm starting to think that there's probably going to be some kind of violence in this New York court. Like somebody's going to try to get in there. Somebody's going to there's going to be some kind of protest or some shit. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know who would be involved because all the Proud Boys are still in jail.
Right.
And nobody else on the right really protests that much.
Yeah. You'll have to hope for a crazy far left person.
Yeah, it's weird how all these people on the left don't seem to care about pedophilia. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like, over the summer, all the fucking people started talking about this is the real virus, pedophilia. Like, I mean, yeah, it's dangerous. So is COVID, if you're old or fat or,
right.
In general sometimes for certain people. But they're not analogs to one another.
Yeah.
It's not like either or. We
can only fight one.
Yeah. Like, that's fucking stupid.
We got to stop pedophilia or COVID.
Yeah.
Make your choice.
It's just fucking that whole ideology of either or. It's one either or is a logical fallacy, by the way. You may want to look those up before you start debating.
I feel like
people.
we've fought a couple two-front wars before.
Yeah. The either or thing is fucking stupid, but that isn't to say that, or rather, there's a huge fucking gap between conflating those two issues and saying you can only solve one or the other or deal with one or the other or investigate one or the other and making excuses for or shutting out people from investigating the systematic rape of children, right, with the sole intent of compromising the leaders of the fucking world.
Yeah. By the way, what government technically governed the island he owned?
It's a good question. Because
you don't hear much about them. They didn't seem to check up on that island too. It's got to be one of those crazy, Bermuda or one of the crazy ass banking situations where everyone just hides their money so they don't get fucking taxed anything.
Little St. James, U.S. Virgin Islands.
Oh, wow.
Oops. So it was the Department of Justice,
right?
To answer your question, the FBI.
Good Lord. Which
is more than likely who shut down the case the first time. And if it weren't for Alex Jones, it never would have popped up again, frankly. So, you know. So, yeah, we're going to want to see what's going on in that courtroom. And if they don't let us know, then I think we should tear the fucking walls down.
Is it true?
Find out. I'm being metaphorical there. I don't mean literally burn the building down. I'm saying we should tear the walls down, like remove the blinders, etc. These are not, don't go fucking do violent shit, you idiots.
Yeah. Is it true? I saw something like very randomly. I didn't necessarily buy it, but like the trial's happening like middle of the night. They're super worried about an assassination or suicide. So they're doing it at all kind of weird hours.
I don't know about that. But what I do know is that if you're a member of law enforcement, right? If you're a federal officer, if you're an FBI agent, if you're a fucking state or city police officer, and you're somehow involved in keeping this truth from the public, then fucking shame on you. You don't deserve to wear the badge, and you damn sure don't deserve to wear the flag on your fucking shoulder. Pathetic. You're a pathetic human being. You're a boot-licking cunt. And you're the reason that we can't have anything nice. So fuck you. Anyways, last thing up. Omicron Persei 8. Omicron. So far, and there's actually somebody in here from South Africa, Nadia de Klerk. So Omicron is the next big thing. Fucking Fauci's he's already talking about it. Like, fucking, we got to get ahead of this and blah. There's some very spooky and dangerous mutations in this one. 4 cases, 0 deaths. They shut down their whole fucking country over there.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I read an article
Shut the fuck up.
from a South African doctor. She didn't write it.
South Africa.
South Africa, yeah. She'll be from South Africa. No, she'll be British.
Yeah.
Dirty Rock.
We don't know how to do any accents here.
Yeah.
So we apologize.
What the fuck was I going to say? Oh, I read an article that like quoted a South African doctor who's treating it. That essentially like the symptoms are weird but mild.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Like it's not quite the normal COVID symptoms, although they are similar, but it's all been mild so far.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, at some point, this whole thing to me seems like it's tracking like the Spanish flu.
COVID is well, maybe a little bit like the Spanish flu because it just kind of regresses back to standard flu symptoms, but
and that it just gets weaker.
It's endemic too.
Right, it's endemic now. Yeah. So it kicked us in the dick for like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yep.
And essentially, it's just going to become a part of life.
Yeah. But old people and people with respiratory problems will occasionally die from COVID. That's just going to be the reality. Moving forward.
The same way, I mean, people forget. Everyone talks about the 1918 flu, but there was a really bad flu situation in the 50s. And another one in the 60s or 70s that were hitting like 6 figs, essentially, in the United States.
Got to bump those numbers up.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's the way it seems like it's tracking me now because, I mean, we don't name flu variants anymore.
No, nor should we.
Unless it's like a crazy one, like an avian flu situation or something like that.
Bird flu, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy when it's some kind of like swine flu.
Right.
That sounds like... They didn't call it pig flu, by the way.
Yeah.
When's the last time you heard anybody say swine before the swine flu? Or
Never.
after?
Never.
And the only time you ever hear the word swine is in reference to the goddamn swine flu. What was that, 2009 or some shit?
Yeah, like 9, 10. Maybe if like a really aristocratic British guy like thinks you're gross.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. So the House of Commons.
Yeah.
You're utter swine. Yeah, the woman, Nadia de Klerk, that's in here, she's from South Africa. She says, yeah, it's sounding mild. We're a bit in shock of the world's reaction. I wish I could say I was in shock. I mean, I don't believe the wild theories about certain types of fucking conspiracy theories is stupid. You know what I mean? Like, the U.S. was in collusion to release blah blah. Like, no. But they never. One thing the U.S. is really good at is never letting a good tragedy go to waste. You know what I mean? Like, let's gobble up a little more money and power at every opportunity. It's like hungry fucking hippos.
I mean, what do you think the best example of that is? The Maine exploding?
I don't know.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
That one's almost like certainly, in retrospect, an accident.
Yeah. I think that I think we got to be really careful now because when somebody that's, and this is not a perfect analogy, so bear with me, but somebody that's like far weaker than you is fucking with you, maybe punching you or whatever the fuck, and you just take it because who cares? It's not that big a deal. And then they catch you one time and your instincts kick in, you overreact and knock the fucking 6-year-old out, you know what I mean, which happens.
Yeah.
Not literally knock them out, but smack them in the fucking face or something like that.
It happened to me the other day.
That does yeah, probably not with a baby, but it does happen with toddlers and young kids a lot.
Yeah, they'll accidentally like smack you in the nuts.
Yeah.
Like, right, they're trying to punch your leg.
Yeah, you're like, motherfucker, and you crack them in the head or something like that. That's where we are now, and it's going to be very easy for people who have been forced inside their homes, had their liberties taken away, had their fucking livelihood taken away, to overreact to pretty much anything that happens. And maybe we're due for some of that. I don't know, but I would say just exercise some caution when you're reacting to things. That's always a good place to start.
Yeah.
Is to not like lose your fucking mind. But also you should,
Say more like note your first thought than act on it.
Yeah.
Might be right. But
you should definitely just give it some, because the stakes are very high right now for how America is going to proceed into the future, and it's not just America. Fucking England is rough right now. Canada is way worse than we are, like way worse. Canada is us. They're like 4 years into our future because they started with all the critical race and making misgendering people illegal shit back in like 2015.
Yeah.
So they're a couple years ahead of us on that, maybe 3 years ahead of us. So that's what we have to look forward to, is
CRT and no Stanley Cups.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom, president, right? Oof. Like whoever the cutest slick back hair guy whose dad is a big deal gets the job.
What you expect from him versus reality, like just looking at him versus reality, is pretty. Although he might still have a closet full of dead prostitutes. I don't know.
You're talking about Gavin Newsom?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's in Mexico on vacation right now.
Right.
But you better stay in your fucking house, pleb. Don't go anywhere. Don't fucking see your relatives.
But Adler did the same thing. That was fun.
Yeah, Adler. Yeah, I mean,
and that wasn't now. That was during the height of it.
I think instead of us trying to decide who belongs on Mount Rushmore, we should just take all these politicians and put them into a rock quarry at the bottom of it and just throw giant rocks at them, right? Just straight up stone them like 7th century style, Islam style. You fucked up, and now you have to get bashed to death with rocks. Just, metaphorically speaking, obviously. Mm-hmm. All of society has to start turning on these people. I really think that there's going to have to be some kind of tax protest soon. Like if right now, if enough people were to convert their liquid capital and somehow convert the way they get paid into crypto, we could fucking shut the government out really fast, and they would have nothing. They would have no way to do anything.
Stores started taking crypto also.
Well, the stores that I need to go to, sure.
Right. By the way, speaking of turning on politicians or whatever, did you see that?
Like buying local food and only paying for it in crypto, things like that. Like I see a way out with crypto because it's decentralized, but it might be a way out. Like you might be walking outside of a fucking smoky room into a fiery one. You know what I mean? That's why I say maybe we should just be patient.
Take a look. Did you see that in the latest University of Texas poll, Matthew McConaughey is pulling ahead of Beto O'Rourke?
Matthew McConaughey would pull ahead of Jesus in a University of Texas poll. Get the fuck out of here.
No, it's not of the kids. but it's a.
Do you think University of Texas is putting out a legit poll with regard to Matthew McConaughey?
It was a university. No, it wasn't all of the kids. It was like
no, I get it. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying you can make a poll say anything you want.
That's fair.
Not a poll like a Polish person, although you can trick them easily. I'm told.
Yes, not a bright people.
No, well, I just think they don't care about things we care about.
They probably don't.
They care about like warmth,
good sausage,
and vodka and shit. So.
Yeah, very underrated vodka people. Russians get all the alcoholic love, but Polacks fucking.
Isn't the Federal Reserve technically decentralized? I mean, technically, I guess it doesn't. It's all a fucking joke. It's like a big joke. This whole fucking thing is a big joke.
Right.
Like we used to make fun of people who lived like this, who traded imaginary currencies with each other, and now it's like a big thing. And then we realize that the government's just been doing that for years. The government, by the way, there's a good meme about this somewhere, but it's on point. If you were to compare the U.S. dollar to any kind of investment, you'd be like a stock, for example. Like, all right, cool. Like, if you were to compare it to a publicly traded company, you'd say, okay, well, there's a lot of debt here. Also, something like 40% of the total currency has been created within the last 8 months. So that's not good. That's
Wait,
like,
say that again, Dan. How many? What percent?
let me look it up because I can't remember. Hold on.
Sorry, that kind of shook me for a second.
So prices today are 21.95 times higher than 1800 for the U.S. dollar. There's been an increase of 2,095% since the start of the 19th century.
No, that's not what I'm looking at. That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
A fifth of all U.S. dollars were created in between January 1st and October 8th of 2020.
Wow.
20%. So I don't know what that is as of this year, a year and a month later, but I'm sure it's pretty big. Right? It's probably somewhere in the 30s. So it's not a 40% thing. But yeah, if you looked at it from an investment standpoint, you would say, "Hey, that sucks."
Here's a cool graph of the purchasing power of the U.S. dollar.
Let me guess. On the left is before.
Well, yeah. Well, it's a little bit of a weird
1940s
graph.
maybe?
No, it goes back into the 17th century when the U.S. dollar didn't exist. But just from 1800 to the end, you saw the end part.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't find the numbers for 2021 yet so far this year, but I know that, and you can read this story in a bunch of different places. It's on USA Today from May 12th. They had already printed 3.5 trillion, and but so I guess technically it was between January 1st and May 1st because that's the same number. I don't know what it is. Let me see. There's one more link here but I don't know if I believe this. I have to look at the data. Hang on. Blah, blah, blah. The Dow Jones is also trading. The Federal Reserve has been printing money to pay for about $29 trillion in U.S. debt. However, what's new is that 40% of U.S. dollars in existence were printed in the last 12 months alone.
So that's fun. So
the Federal Reserve reported that 40% of Americans don't have $400 in their bank account for emergency expenses, according to a report from ABC News. The 2019 Federal Reserve survey finds that almost 40% of American adults won't be able to come up with $400 on short notice in case their car broke down or whatever the fuck. It's weird. On January 6, 2020, the U.S. Federal Reserve had around $4 trillion. On January 4th, 2021, that number increased to $6.7 trillion. So either the U.S. Federal Reserve started a new business, or they just printed $3 trillion.
Or maybe they stopped shredding it. So fun story.
Yeah.
I used to work across the street from the St. Louis Federal.
But that's a one-for-one, though.
Yeah.
For every one shredded, a new one is made.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you're saying.
I used to work across the street from the St. Louis Federal Reserve. And for whatever reason, the little like garage they shredded all their money in, I would walk past it every day to go to this food truck, and the door was always open, and there would just be clear trash bags full of unshredded dollar bills. And there was nothing I wanted to do more than just grab 2 of them and quit my shitty job.
Yeah, there would have been like fucking $400 or $500 in there probably.
I mean, I looked as closely as I could before someone could like come at me, and it depended on the day. Sometimes there were some big ass bills in there. Sometimes it was, but either way.
Yeah, you would get shot so many times in the face.
So many fucking times.
I mean, probably an unnecessary amount of times.
Yeah.
But
that Federal Reserve Guard is looking for a reason.
definitely a lot. Either way, the point of all of that is that U.S. currency is dog shit, and you have to be prepared for the consequences. So when I say that a tax strike or, some kind of crypto-related strike might be leaving a smoky room and walking into a fucking fiery one, the U.S. economy would collapse immediately. Like, it would take a couple of days for the U.S. economy to completely collapse after that happened. But economies collapse, and new things pop up in their stead all the time. We think that because we've had relative comfort for some amount of time, that's just the standard. No, chaos is the fucking standard.
Yeah.
Right? And we constantly work against the chaos. It's like the gravity of a star pressing inward while the fusion presses outwards, right? Or fission, rather, presses outwards. The explosions or whatever the fuck else. That balance is what makes a good economy. And there's winners and losers in economies, and we know that. But
I mean, in the history of the United States, your town has only been safe of being raided for like 100 years.
Pretty much, yeah.
Essentially.
Give or take. It depends on where you are. Some places,
yeah.
Like if you live in Montana, not quite that long.
Yeah.
Right. So
live in New York probably a lot longer, but
yeah. Elon G says time for gold. No, that's nonsense. Gold and silver. Here's the problem with gold and silver now. People who are fucking people who are economic predators have been dangling precious metals in front of you as an alternative for so long that they've completely those things will be completely devalued next to either precious gems or just crypto. Right, if it happens like that, silver's getting bigger, yeah, and you can make money trading in gold and silver, but I wouldn't expect it to ever become a currency again. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
What
do you do with a gold coin? What's the difference between a gold coin and a fucking dollar?
I don't fucking know.
Right.
It's the same bullshit.
It made no sense to me.
I mean, gold is supposed to be worth more because it's rarer. So that means it's rare and it looks nice, so it would be useful to other people, which means they would give you their products or services in exchange for it. That's the only reason that it would be valuable. But in like a post-apocalyptic or post-American economy society where people are just trying to get fed, food is a lot more valuable than a fucking piece of metal.
Right.
Right. Unless you have such an overabundance that you think you're going to be able to use that or collect that enough, then it's going to become relevant again at some point. Right?
Yeah.
People do that as well. But
hungry family don't want jewelry.
No. Well, some of them do. Like if you're on TikTok. By the way, the internet will just keep going.
Yeah.
Private companies, like the American dollar might collapse, but it'll collapse for everyone. Now, some people may stop working. That might be a problem. Maybe the military gets involved, blah, blah, blah. But by and large, things will continue. You know what I mean? People like a community will be like, well, fuck, we can go down there and we can flip the router power switch off and on and make the internet work again. We're just going to go do it. Somebody will go do it. Every time shit collapses, that's what happens. People fucking step up and do shit, and that's what will happen here. So I don't really give a fuck. Just plan for the long winter is all I'm saying. Like have some good food stocked up, a way to both collect and purify water, and some way to stay warm. And by the way, you can buy fish antibiotics on the internet without a prescription, and they work pretty much the same. So there's a lot of stuff you could do. I'm not telling you to go become a weird prepper, but you should prepare. That's what that word means. And let's see what happens, man. I think that America's due for a little bit of chaos.
I think we're there.
I think it might be a good thing.
We might just have the tip in, but it feels like we're at chaos. Things got a little too comfortable in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. Party too hard in the 80s and 90s, and now we've got to go to our room,
Yeah.
drink water, take a couple days off.
Even the 70s. After Nam was over, I know there was a gas crisis, but we had a good 25 years.
Yeah.
Just everything was pretty chill.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. What'll probably happen is some kind of form of corporatism, like Elon Musk will be like, "I'll provide for the people." You know what I mean? But his company will just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
That's
Same
what happened
thing with Bezos.
Fall of the Roman Empire. Everyone left the cities and went to live on landowners' property, and that's essentially how that's a sloppy way of saying it's how feudalism got started. Because there was no more cities weren't safe. Vandals, Huns kept running in.
Feudalism, by the way, is like Downton Abbey, where there's a rich family and everybody kind of works for them.
Yeah.
And if you don't, sometimes you get killed up until like the early 20th century where it's just like, now you're running a charity.
Yeah.
So, fuck. Feudalism is actually not the worst. But it was a step in the right direction. And maybe our current form of democracy is also just another step in the right direction. People that are evolutionary biologists will tell you this. I don't understand why more people that are political scientists don't believe this. We're not looking for the perfect solution to how to govern human beings. We're looking for the perfect solution to govern human beings right now, right?
Yeah.
And in a way that is flexible enough that it can evolve with the needs of human beings and the threats against them and persist. Now, maybe democracy does that, but look at what's happening right now with 40% of the country is fucking crazy. They're willing to trade their security or their liberty for security, which is against the entire ethos. And you know, then there's large sects on both sides that are just absolute nuts. And there's enough power and currency concentrated at certain places right now that, one, we can't get a fucking camera into a courtroom where there's a vast international conspiracy to rape children and use that information as leverage over foreign powers, right? Can't get a camera into that courtroom. So we can't trade certain stocks without them shutting it down because we made too much of their money.
Yeah.
So it's like
that one feels like the most egregious thing that happened in the last year. I saw until maybe this camera thing.
Yeah, it's those two things especially are telling me that the system as we designed it wasn't strong enough to stop bad actors from becoming the system. So we need a new system now. It's just the way it is. Or maybe we need to fucking shake the tree or whatever. I don't know what it is. We'll figure it out though, and we'll figure it out together.
Breaking news: Kyle Rittenhouse suing Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg for $60 million.
He's a racist. Why did he only pick 2 black women? That'll be the story.
Yeah,
anyway.
Joy Behar, famous black woman.
Yeah, she's very black.
Yeah,
no, a black woman and a Jew.
Yes,
he's a fucking white supremacist, dude.
Proves it.
Proves it.
Proves it.
Need to make friends with the Amish. Dan could be a blacksmith. I'll tell you something about the Amish. As long as you don't fuck their daughters and shit, they'll do stuff for you. They're a very industrious and capitalist society. I've seen them. I used to buy pies from them at the Wisconsin or the Madison farmers market every weekend.
Yeah,
for years.
They're kind of shitty to dogs, though.
Yeah, but so are like Koreans.
It's true.
We like them. They made Samsung.
They're also really rude on the Greyhound bus when you sit near them.
Amish people?
Yeah.
The fuck are they doing on the bus?
I don't know. They take it from Ohio to St. Louis all the time.
For like Rumspringa or something?
I don't know.
Because they're allowed then.
No, I think
If
they're...
you're doing your Rumspringa on the arch, you're going to just go back to the farm.
Go to East St. Louis. Just hang out.
I think they made some
in
sort
a
of
fucking
concessions.
live in a box in the street.
That's where the strip clubs are.
Beg for crack and shit.
Strip clubs are on the east side. If you want to do Rumspringa in St. Louis and you want to really do your Rumspringa right, you got to make a trip to the east side.
We need to start a company that helps kids, and it's a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And we pick up the kids while they're on their way into the city and be like, all right, there's like a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, we've got this is our silver level, and here's our gold and platinum levels. And the platinum level, it's just some dude cutting somebody's head off and shit. Like it's basically the purge. We can make anything you want happen. I just want you to have a good time. That's all. So I think that goes on
for Rumspringa.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
So Platinum level is if you want to decapitate somebody, you do anything you
Well,
want.
not literally decapitate somebody, but we'll
Get weird.
We'll let somebody. You can get a handy while somebody's fucking. While you're watching a movie about decapitation, maybe like
Okay.
that. That goes in line with Jared and I have another business idea, and I think I told you guys about it before. It's Viking funerals, where your buddy dies, and you bring the body to us, not in the back of your car, like in a legal way, and we have like a legit Viking, like wake and then burial ceremony, like at sea with the whole thing.
A trained archer.
That's a good idea. Like people would definitely
fuck
buy
yeah,
that.
I would do that if somebody I cared about died. Not any of you assholes. I'm not spending that money on you dicks, but that would be pretty dope.
Assume if we died here, we would find our way to the dumpster out back.
Well, I mean that's what you should do with me too. Like a dead body is trash. That's the one thing Joe Pesci said that I've never forgotten. Joe Pesci? Nope. Danny DeVito.
Oh, yeah.
The same guy.
Same person.
But, dead bodies is garbage. You don't need to honor my body. If you can set it on fire and it looks cool, then do it because that's cool.
Right.
And that's cool for all of you, not for me.
Just feel bad for Nick having to take it out there.
Fuck him.
It's a Nick and Sean job.
Yeah, Sean's probably never coming back from El Paso. He probably got caught at the border or something.
Not a good weekend for the Cowboys either. You might just be staying down there.
That's true. That was embarrassing. We'll talk about that on Tuesday, probably on the NFL show, whatever we do, Tuesday or Wednesday. It's going to be a good week for making fun of football teams, especially the Eagles. You guys need some stickum. That's it.
We need to cut Jalen Reagor.
Yeah. Two drops in the fourth. That's not good.
2 drops in the last drive for touchdowns. So.
Cam Newton got fucking benched already in game 2 against the Dolphins.
This is natural state.
Yeah, it is. The Patriots smoked the Titans like we suspected they would, although I thought it was going to be a little bit closer than that, but fucking...
And of course, biggest story of the day, Lincoln Riley to USC.
Yep.
Probably Caleb Williams, too.
Yeah, and Ohio State lost, so Ross is definitely punching nurses right now.
Yeah.
Or not nurses, I guess they're whatever physical therapy people are called. I don't know what they're called.
They set them back another month.
Yeah.
You texted me in like middle of the fourth quarter, and like, what did you say? Some nurse is definitely going to lose her job today.
Quit her job today.
Quit her job, yeah.
Like, there's just no way. Like, somebody is got the worst possible shift, and was just like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah. To be fair, it isn't just a Ross thing. I'm sure Ohio State fans around the world have probably they've done things they can't take back.
Yeah.
Between this time yesterday and right now.
100%. And by the way, it's worth noting, this is my theory. What?
Is it worth noting?
No. What I'm about to say, this is my theory that I've said multiple times. There was a close Iron Bowl. So there's got to be murders.
Yeah.
There had to be at least one killing in Alabama.
Yeah, we'll see.
Quadruple overtime?
I mean, just wait until Iowa beats Michigan next week, too.
Oh, that would be so funny, dude.
Jesus.
If Iowa beats Michigan, what is it, like Oklahoma State and Notre Dame and Cincinnati?
And then Oklahoma State loses to Baylor. Let's just have chaos.
Yes. I want pure chaos.
Well, Notre Dame is done, though, right? Because
They're just chilling.
Yeah, they don't have a championship.
They're going to get in if, all that happens.
I think they should be able to, like, just go over to the ACC and be like, hey, we'll play. Whoever, you guys pick your best guy and we'll play him, but we're not playing you through the year and shit like that. That's not doing that.
Kick Pitt out. They play Wake. Beat the shit out of Wake. It's fine.
Other way. Just have Notre Dame play Pitt.
All right, well, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. Who do we got tomorrow? Let's see. Tomorrow we have Brian Urlacher.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Yeah,
Can we ask him about his gambling situation?
We can ask him about whatever you want. And then on Tuesday at 2 p.m., Adam Carolla, he's got a new show called Something About Yelling on the Daily Wires network, which is dope. Adam's a good dude. So that'll be fun.
So we actually have 3 big guests this week because we also, on Wednesday, have K-State former coach and legend Bill Snyder.
Okay, I'm probably going to sit that one out.
Really?
No, I have no idea who Bill Snyder is.
Oh, fuck.
But I will talk shit about Kansas.
You can talk shit. Yeah, Kansas State's former coach forever.
He's fucking 100 years old.
He eats Taco Bell every day.
Well, good. Well, see, that's probably why he's still alive.
And don't miss the Monday morning recap tomorrow around 12:15. We're going to talk all about Triad Combat and how that went this weekend.
Well, maybe. We got Brian Urlacher tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, yeah,
Two.
that'll be just a regular Drinkin' Bros show. Because Brian Urlacher is a very interesting man.
Yeah.
And also a mountain of a man, but not a mountain man.
He has hair again.
From not wearing a helmet?
Well, he was bald like his whole career.
No,
but
I got it, but
I don't know, but it doesn't look right.
let's see. Do you have a picture? Can I see a picture? Because, yeah, he was bald his entire career, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he has hair again, and it's a little upsetting, I'll be honest. We find a picture? Am I find a picture?
I can't find one, but yeah, he definitely. I
You'll
only
see him
remember.
tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see him tomorrow.
Yeah.
I only remember him bald. So, anyways, everything is chaos right now. We're also going to be recording another show with Tim Montana this week, sometime Tuesday probably. Maybe we'll be able to air this one.
Literally was about to ask that.
Last time we talked about cream pie and grandmas and shit, and he had a new record deal. He was like, "Hey, can you guys hold on to that one for a minute?" So, yeah, we'll. And he also called his mom, who had some things to say.
Oh.
That was a very interesting mother conversation.
Yeah, she's definitely used to putting up with his bullshit. No question about that. She did not flinch at any of that. So, anyways, yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow around noon, I guess, for the sports show with these guys.
Yeah, be fucking around then.
Yeah. All right. See ya.